If you're choking your high kill games and wondering why, chances are you're focused on the wrong skills. In today's guide, I'm going to show you how to break your PR and, more importantly, drop higher kill games more consistently. You can't drop a high kill game without the basics of movement or aim, and you're probably not going to do it without the meta loadout either. But without these 7 secrets, you're going to miss out on dropping your best game yet. This skill is the hardest to master by far. While tech sprinting your way through hot drops will sometimes do the trick, you don't have to push everything to get a lot of kills. Patience and control will keep you grounded in the right position to take the opening shot. Here I calculated my attack and waited to strike. The payoff was big, but let's rewind that. I didn't shoot because I likely didn't have enough time to drop one enemy. I also didn't fully know where the other 2 enemies were that were on radar. I saw my opportunity to strike behind cover and I took it. After engaging 2, I was actively looking out for the 3rd. I grabbed some quick elevation to see if I could see them trying to bail out and knocked them on the way down. Having a way out of a bad fight is the most underrated part of having pro game sense. The best players know when they're outmatched, and rather than hitting the panic button and spraying, it's best to grab your bug out route and reset. Reposition, reload, and replate, in that order. Right before every push, make a mental note of what your escape route will be when things go wrong. The faster you decide, the faster you'll reset. Sometimes it will be a different piece of cover, and sometimes it will be on a different level. Buildings make for a great escape route because you can bait window breaks and close doors. You can drop straight to the ground from a rooftop and turn back into the lower level. Put as many surfaces between you and the aggressor as possible. Keep the enemy guessing, because this takes the fight to their headset and prediction ability.
Hey, what the? Where did you come from, bro? I swear you went up.
Sometimes you have to think outside the box altogether. That's the skill that separates the upper tier players from ones that just chase dots on the map and those who think outside the box. Fight with your ears, not just your eyes. Warzone seems to peak very high with its sound set to 100. Louder isn't always better, especially in a game where sound is notoriously inconsistent. Lower your master volume to 90 or 95 and test different audio presets. Bass-heavy headsets will benefit from home theater. On PC, I use headphones with directional audio. I have tried all of the presets, and you should too. Leave the effects volume to 100 and balance your voice chat lower to favor the game volume. Footstep frequencies are generally between 100 and 200 Hz range. Third-party EQ apps like Sonar and Dolby Atmos will help soften the sounds of airstreaks and loot boxes. So try lowering your low-end and high-end frequencies and leaving your mid-range. The skill set is to use the sound as effectively as you can to target where your aggressor is coming from so you can pre-aim their push. We want to familiarize ourselves with the different surface sounds that can help isolate what elevation the enemy is on. There are unique sounds for rock, concrete, wood, and tin roofs. If you're shooting a target a distance away and hearing enemy footsteps pushing you, it's time to stop and refocus the incoming push. Pay attention to the surface changes between floors, and you'll start to notice how you can spot enemies without even looking at them. Without this skill set, you're going to be constantly looking for more kills. You have to move, but move on information and use map knowledge. If someone is moving out of sight, use elevation to rotate to theirs faster. Parachute your way to the kill. Grab a zipline to get a better angle on a target that's pulling their own escape route. Elevation and information. Prioritize UAVs to isolate where enemies are. Rotate there as quick as possible and rinse and repeat. If you're not keeping that fast pace when your POI is empty, then the lobby will be dead before you get to the final circle. When you're fighting in a squad, don't be afraid to take turns challenging the enemies. Oftentimes they don't know that the second one is there, which can give you valuable seconds to reset. One method is to bait with a self-res and back off your teammate to hold defensively. If you're successful, you can even tap their self after the push. If the enemy does knock you, there's the potential for the teammate to finish their stim and trade the remainder of your damage. This method is dangerous, but sometimes when you're in a bad position, it's all you have left. This tactic is also dangerous because instead of pushing one team, you're pushing two. The risk versus reward is you can maximize their distraction to take easier shots on an escaping team's flank. The danger is you're now fighting up to 8 enemies in quads. Knowing how to play the web of information is a complex tornado. You'll get notifications on the minimap for each kill you take, but you may not see the other team rolling up to avenge you taking their kills. This is where audio cues and UAVs really shine. Be careful not to overpush here because the odds are stacked against you. If it's done patiently, you can farm multiple kills from the same enemies in a resurgence lot. Just don't treat the first squad wipe like it's safe. This last skill set is taking the information handling to the expert level, your minimap. The more you look and make mental notes of its notifications, the smoother you will play. Take notes of streaks like when you're on an enemy UAV with the red border, or the recent flight path edition of the precision airstrike. Knowing where enemies are and remembering multiple teams' locations will help you fight smarter. These mental notes help you know where to rotate after and get you back into the action. As the circle collapses, you can start to see what buildings are in zone and plan your preferred rotation. Check your proximity to the closest buy station and start setting up your escape routes for the circle slide. The master of the minimap is the master of the game. Information is constantly changing. The more you have, the faster you'll be there to get the kill. If you found today's guide in any way helpful, like and subscribe. Share this with your squad and start pushing smarter. Leave your PR down in the comments below and start to practice each of these skill sets so you can start taking the upper hand in every lobby you drop into. Keep building, keep adapting, Sitrep out.